Starting in January 2012, I'll be the host of... Hi folks, I'm Scott Martin, host of the Caddie Show on tourplayers.com, where the pros hang out. My name's Scott Martin, and I'm a caddy on the PGA Tour. Well, this season, 2011, I'm working for the greenest kid I've ever worked for. It's totally new to him. He turned pro last summer, late 2010. He played only a handful of Canadian Tour events, a couple of nationwide, went to Q school and got his card. So here he is turning pro in September, and in January he's on the PGA Tour. So it was a really big leap for him. It's a lot different, you know, when you work for veterans, they know their way around, whether it be off the course, on the course, they know the routine. And you know, with the guy I'm working for this year, I'm teaching him a lot, whether it's about off the golf course, on the golf course, or you know, I'm 52 years old, he's 25, and I'm teaching him a lot of life lessons as well. We're sharing a lot of, you know, my experiences, and but it's a lot different, you know, working for a young guy. But I like it. It's a good challenge. It's a really good challenge. I like it a lot. You know, it's a little demanding at times, but it's good. But it's a lot different than working for guys that have been out there for a few years and know their way around for sure. There's a lot to the job, and there's a lot of great characters that do the job out there. Good buddy of mine will be out here this year. His name's Dick Christie. He works for J.J. Colleen. He used to be a judge. A couple of guys with law backgrounds. There's just a bunch of characters, you know, that have some really interesting pasts and some really interesting stories to tell. Change of scenery. I mean, this is a totally unique job. It's a totally unique experience. It's a fantastic way to earn a living, and it's a fantastic experience in life. It's really hard to beat. A good story that an interesting experience in my career happened back in, I don't know, 2003 or 4. I was working for a player, really tough guy to work for, great guy, classy guy, you know, multiple winner, not with me, but he was a multiple winner. Really love the guy. We're really good friends right now. But at the time, he was very difficult to work for, and we were at the BC Open in Endicott, New York, like I said, 2003 or 4. And pretty easy golf course. If you shot 2 under, 3 under, it's like even par. It wasn't a very good day. You have to shoot 4 or 5 under to kind of be in the mix, you know. So he shoots like 2 or 3 over, which is, you may as well shoot 100. He's really PO'd after the round. He's pissed off. He's not a happy camper. And we're on the putting green, and he's putting, and he asked me to look at his stroke and asked me for my opinion, which I gave, and he snapped. He lost it, you know, giving me calling me all kinds of, not curse words, but calling me names, and, you know, and I'm just trying to help the guy, right? Well, I was so fed up with the guy, even leading up, not fed up with him, but, you know, he was on the edge, you know, pushing me to my limit. I was on the edge, actually. And I got right in his face, and I called him every name in the book. You this and you that, who the do you think you are? And I'm ripping him, okay? I'm spitting in his face. And he's 8 inches away from me. It looks like a baseball umpire and a manager going at it, although he wasn't saying anything. And I lost my mind. And I Stormed off the putting green. I was quitting basically at that time. So I storm off the putting green. I go to the bag, and it was a rainy day actually. It wasn't raining at the time, and I grabbed my, I'm looking for my rain suit, and his wife's was in there, and his was in there, and I'm throwing stuff out. It looks like a yard sale on the putting green. There's shit everywhere. There's stuff everywhere, and storm off. He calls me that night, and he says, "Look, I'm really sorry the way I was treating you today, and I just want to know if you're going to be there tomorrow." I won't answer the phone, call me back and leave a message. So I call him back, I leave a voicemail, and basically tell him, I'll be there, I'm a professional, I act like a pro, I'm here to do a job this week, but after this week, whether it's tomorrow or Sunday, you're fired. So I show up the next day, he's very apologetic, on the driving range. He's, kind of like got his tail between his legs almost. He goes out and shoots 62 or 63, shoots 10 under, 61 or 62, shoots 10 under. And great round, obviously. He comes up to me, had a nice smile on his face afterwards. We shook hands. The next morning we're on the driving range, and Jim Nelford comes up to my player, and he asks him, Noda, can I ask you a couple of questions before you tee off? Sure. So they do a little interview, and notice Jim Nelford says to Noda. He says to Noda, he says, Noda, big turnaround from Thursday to Friday's round. What was the key? He says, let me tell you, Jim, my caddy gave me a hell of a pep talk on Thursday night. So, and we've, Noda and I are actually really good friends to this day. And I gained his respect by standing up to him the way I did, and letting him know how I felt. He really liked it. So that's that. Yeah, I was actually working for Sean McKeel, and that was, I want to say, it's 2008 or 2009. The finals were in Florida at Bear Lakes, I think it might be called. And I was working for Peter Launard at the time, and then he didn't get through second stage of Q school. So I'm looking for a job for finals, and long story, I ended up getting Sean McKeel, somebody who had quit him. Hooked me up with the job, gave me his number. Hey, said he's looking for a job, call Sean McKeel, I just quit. So I call Sean McKeel, leave him a message, and he calls me back, a few hours later, and he says, yeah, you want to work for me next week at finals? Let's go. So I forget what round it was, third round or something. We're on a par 3. He hits his tee shot, and leaves it pretty short of the hole. It's on the green, but the pin's in the back, and he's got a pretty lengthy putt. He tries to finish, he had about a 3-foot putt, and he didn't mark. For some reason, he decided to try to finish, and he ended up 3-putting. Well, as he's walking off the green, he gets about beside me, walking towards the bag. I hear the putter flying through the air. I hear that thing going through the air. Okay, so I don't even turn around and watch him. I just let him go do his. I don't want to go hang out with him. He probably doesn't want me to hang out with him either, so I just let him go do his thing. The other two guys finish putting. Walk back to the bag, and he's not there, and I look over, he's on the edge of a pond, which was beside the green, a pretty big pond, a small lake actually, and he's standing there with his hands in his hips, and he's looking out at the water, and I said, what's going on? He said, well, my putter's in the lake. I said, how do you know? He said, well, I gave it a good toss, it went over the hill, and I came over the hill, and I see a bunch of ripples in the water. So I said, well, you better take off your pants and shoes and socks and get in there and get it. He says, you're not gonna go get it for him? I said, I'm not going in there, I didn't toss it, there's no way I'm going in to get this putter. So it's kind of funny, as he's sitting there, he didn't take his pants off, but he rolled, as he was rolling up his pants and taking off his shoes and socks, he's saying, I can't believe you're making me go in here and get this, and and I just stood there, I didn't say anything else. So he goes in, and he didn't bend over or anything, he just felt around. I don't know how he did it, but he felt around with his feet, and he found the putter, and he picked it up with his toes, and came out and dried himself off, and went to the next hole. And he was pissed off at me because I wouldn't go in the water and get his putter, but I don't do that.